What's going on, Muscle Monsters? Align Gonzalez here, and today I got a quick video for you guys. Today I want to give you 3 tips for how to increase your appetite if you're finding it hard to eat enough to gain weight or build muscle. This is probably going to be more so for those of you who are like me, who find it extremely difficult to eat enough to put on size. Alright, now I know this is not a problem everybody has, but unfortunately or fortunately, it's one that we have. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump right in. Tip number 1, increase that feeding window. I know a lot of the times you hear about things like intermittent fasting, where what we're doing is we're reducing the amount of time in the day where we allow ourselves to eat, and we use that as a tool to eat less without tracking calories, and thus it makes a great way to lose fat effortlessly. Well, why wouldn't we do the opposite? Instead of starting your meals later in the day or waking up later in the day or skipping breakfast, start consuming your meals earlier. So instead of eating 10 hours out of the day, maybe eat 12 to 14 hours out of the day. Another thing is, don't be afraid of eating at night. Now obviously there's plenty of research that kind of debunks this whole myth that we shouldn't eat at night because we'll store it as fat, blase, blase. But especially if you're a naturally skinny guy and you're not getting in enough calories, then you definitely need to forget about that whole old school bro science and start eating at night, or allowing yourself to. Alright, so don't cut your meals off early. Start your meals off earlier in the day. This will allow you to naturally be able to get in more calories throughout the day pretty effortlessly. Alright, tip number 2, consider dropping your fats or your protein. Now obviously I want you to get at least 0.8 grams per pound of body weight in protein, and I want you to get at least 0.4 grams per pound of body weight in fats. However, most people tend to eat higher fats and less carbs, and what happens is those fats and that high protein intake is making us feel full for a longer period of time. So if we can meet our minimum requirements for fat, our minimum requirements for protein, we can increase our carb intake, and it's going to allow us to not get as full for as long, and this will make it a lot easier to stomach more meals. Alright, if you've ever had a burger, you'll notice that you stay full for a long period of time. Now consider the time when you had a grilled chicken sandwich, you were probably hungry another hour later. Alright, so decrease the fats and the protein if and only if you're already getting more than the minimum requirements, and increase the carbs instead. And last but not least, stop trying to eat everything you see in order to gain weight. Here's what I mean. Alright, it sounds counterintuitive. However, right now, this very moment, you're not gaining weight, right? But I can almost guarantee that your weight is fluctuating roughly around the same. It's not going down, it's not going up, it's staying pretty baseline at the moment. And this simply means that we're just eating enough to maintain our current body weight, give or take. So what's happening is a lot of people will say, oh, well, you got to eat more, just eat all day. All right, that works for one day, we stuff ourselves, but then the next day our appetite isn't there anymore, right? So we don't eat enough, and we're back at that maintenance level. So find that maintenance level, and instead of just trying to eat everything in sight, just eat slightly above it, right? So if you're eating currently on average 2,500 calories per day, then chances are naturally you're going to be hungry enough to consume that amount every day. So adding an extra 100 calories to your day is as simple as maybe half an extra spoon of peanut butter, an extra slice of bread, or whatever the case may be. It's just 100 calories, and what this is going to allow you to do is avoid overeating one day and then undereating the next day, and allow you to eat in a surplus consistently, even though it's a smaller surplus, it's better to be consistent than going up and down and staying at maintenance. I hope that made sense. If it did, click the like button below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.